I have lots of options. I have too many options. Because I'm an idiot. I think writing 82 projects at once really works for me, actually. We'll see how it goes. This could end terribly. I started a new book. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily. Today is Monday, March 3rd, and welcome back to another writing vlog. I don't really fully know the topic of what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. I just know that I have been editing for 82 years, also known as a month. And I would like to pretend that editing never exists again for the next 2 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks. Iffy. So I'm gonna draft stuff. I have lots of options. I have too many options. Yeah. So the number one thing is Thistle. Thistle is my lit RPG Thistle is my fantasy series. Might have some lit RPG elements. Who knows? Certainly not the writer. I want to write at least the first book this year. I kind of want to write all 3 books this year. But so we're going to be working on the first book. And I'm like 10,000 words into it already. I think it's great. I have it all outlined. We're going to work on that. Other thing, I actually booked my editor for later this year. Project Unicorn, which is a standalone, short, fantasy romance fairy tale-ish thing. Short. It's gonna be short. It's gonna be a novel, but it's going to be a reasonably length novel. I'm saying this directly into the camera. In 6 months, I'm sure I will regret this. I might regret this in like a week. I would love if that book comes out to like 60 or 70,000 words. Do not make me regret my own words. I'm also, I don't know if I'll write it this month, but like on the back of my brain, I've got Project Monster, which is like a sci-fi thing that I'm just fully pantsing. So, writing by the seat of my pants, if you don't know that phrase. I write that whenever the mood strikes me. It may not strike me at all for this month. I may write a ton of it this month. We have no idea. The main thing is Thistle and apparently Unicorn. Also, I might just, you know, start something else. I'm really hoping that now that I'm done with my editing, once I have like picked 1 or 2 books to work on, Thistle and Unicorn, probably, that my brain will stop going, what if you wrote 5 other things at the same time? That's my hope. I doubt it, but you know, maybe if like I write enough on everything else, I'll be too creatively tired to think of anything new. No burnout though. And we're going to strike the balance between writing enough that I don't want to think of new projects and burnout. We want to stay far away from burnout. And quite frankly, I think the last time I got burnout was not even because I was writing a lot of words, although I'm not writing 100K in a month again, ever again. I'm not doing that. I don't actually think it was because I wrote 100K. I think it was because I wrote 100K and it turned out so bad. I'm just saying that if I wrote did a NaNoWriMo type month this month, that would be really cool. I have a lot of lofty ideas, clearly. This month may flop entirely. We never know. All my Undying Starlight stuff is finally up on Amazon. All the novellas are up, all the box sets are up. That's kind of a lie. The last 2 paperback box sets, I have to fix some formatting things that Amazon decided it didn't like on the box sets specifically. And I found out that Amazon, if you have a paperback and you call it a box set, they get mad at you. But they don't tell you they get mad at you, they tell you your ISBN is wrong. And you have to go, no it's not, and it still tells you it's wrong. And then you have to contact support and they're like, oh actually, this is not technically a box set, so you can't say box set, you have to say something else. Yeah, something else I'm gonna try to remember to actually update you on this vlog is for Undying Starlight on Wednesday, I have a free Booksy promo set up. I have the first box set priced at 99 cents. So I went and I got a free Booksy promo for Wednesday and a Fussy Librarian promo for Thursday. Those are such funny names. And essentially, if you have no idea what those are, they're like, one of them was like 20 bucks or something, and one of them was like 40 bucks. So they're very, very cheap versions of BookBub, you know? They're discount BookBubs, basically. You give them the pitch for your book, you give them, or like the blurb for your book, and you give them the link to Amazon and the genre, and they have a massive email list of people who are there to get either free books or discount books that are like 99 cents. And Dying Starlight will get emailed to, I don't know, several 100,000 people. I don't know. Well, I don't know how big, I don't actually know how big the lists are. Lots and lots and lots of people. And it can boost your rank up for a while and kind of hopefully get read through on the rest of the series. It's a pretty good promo. I've seen a lot of other people do them. And I almost definitely cannot get a BookBub for this series. So that's exciting. I hope it works. I have other stuff to do. You know, I have some backer kit stuff and some like Kickstarter fulfillment stuff to do. The Wind in the Wild, they've got new dummy copies. No, just the covers are coming to me. They did a couple different foil combinations on the leather version and a couple different foil combinations on the paper version, and just the cover. No interior paper or anything. And they're sending those to me so I can pick the best one. I really want this to be a writing vlog, you know, not just like all the publishing crap. Publishing is just so exhausting sometimes, and it doesn't work the way you want it to work. I'm not gonna go into that. Let's just, I have stuff to do. So it's been an interesting couple of writing days. It's Friday, March 7th. This is my second cup of coffee. Good choice. On Wednesday, I did nothing. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I did stuff, but I was doing like productivity stuff. I could tell you what I was doing. On Tuesday, I was doing productivity stuff. I know how dates work. Okay, yeah, on Wednesday, this is a great start. It's a great start to this clip. On Wednesday, I wrote 3,000 words. I wrote 1,000 words on Thistle and 2,000 words on Unicorn. Cool. I am doing like the first like 6,000 to 8,000 words of Unicorn I wrote before, and so I'm rewriting, and so I have this to go off of, so I'm a lot faster right now. I'm almost done with what I had left to go off of though, so I'm about to slow down. Yesterday, I wrote 5,300 words. 4,500 of that was on Unicorn. Again, like, I had stuff to go off of, so I was just, you know, zooming. I was doing writing sprints and was rewriting like 700 words in 15 minutes. You know, it just... calm down. And then, in the evening, at like 10 o'clock at night, which I never write at 10 o'clock at night because I have very few coherent thoughts in my head by that time, I wrote 800 words on something new that I thought up yesterday, like 15 minutes before I wrote it. Listen. Listen. I'm probably gonna keep writing it, but I don't know. Don't believe anything I say about what is a real project until I'm like 30,000 words in, you know? Because it is a thing that I do sometimes, a lot of times, which is I will write 10 to 20,000 words of a new idea, and then I'll go, this is good, but it needs to sit in my brain for a while, and so I put it aside for like a year, and then come back to it and have some stuff to write off of. You know, I did this with Monster, and I did this with Unicorn, so that fully might happen here. I've just decided, why not? You know, who cares that I have like 15 other work in progresses that I could pick from? I felt like writing that random thing last night, and I did. Also, fun fact, I tried to write it in past tense, and I have not written anything in past tense in, years. In fact, I cannot remember the last time I wrote in past tense. It may have been a decade. And so that's an iffy choice. I might not do that. I might, if I keep this, rewrite in present tense so I don't have to keep mentally correcting myself throughout an epic fantasy book. We'll see. Again, don't take anything I say about this seriously. Take it all with many grains of salt, because... But yeah, I was like, well, I could just write it in the evenings after I've done my main project, which is Unicorn, but also I'm kind of staring at it right now. Maybe I should write that right now. So I'm very, very on top of things. I've kind of got a mindset this year because last year sucked so much, and I barely like kept up with the Wind in the Wild where it needed to be, and even that kind of iffy because we're behind. All I have this year that I know I'm going to publish is Assassin, which is now basically done. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I have no plans for this year other than Assassin that are concrete. Unicorn is a hopeful fall project that might turn into like a spring of next year project. It so depends on how the rough draft turns out. I couldn't tell you until I see the rough draft in completion. So I'm already just like kind of screwed on my publishing projects for the year. So I'm just kind of like, as long as I do Unicorn and the first book of Thistle this year, I can do whatever the hell I want because I have no set schedule I can meet anyway, So maybe normally I would have talked myself out of doing 800 words on a project I thought up that minute, but why not? I wasn't going to do anything else at 10 o'clock at night, writing-wise. I was just going to, like, look through my marketing groups on Facebook and then go to bed, so. Anyway, it's kind of like a progression fantasy thing. To absolutely nobody's shock or awe or surprise, it's a family drama. That's all I'm gonna say because again, I might get a few thousand words into this and go, well, time to put this aside for a year. So I'm just letting you know that's what I did last night. But also wrote a lot on Unicorn. So I am gonna go back to writing. I don't know, I've written 600 words or rewritten 600 words on Unicorn. I may keep going at that. I may write Thistle. I may write the new random thing until I, run out of ideas and decide it's a bad idea. This vlog might go all month and just this clip is 15 minutes. Okay. The quickest of quick updates here. It's Wednesday, March 12th. All I have to tell you is that yesterday I wrote 4,100 words on the new project. I'm enjoying it. Greetings, it's Friday, March 14th. I'm watching one of my writer groups on Discord have an argument about AI. So yeah, the other day I wrote 4,300 words on something. I've lost track of anything I'm doing. 4,100 words. On Wednesday, I wrote 3,400 words on Unicorn. I am in just the drafting stage of this, so it's hard to tell, but it seems really up there for like one of the most atmospheric things I've ever written, which is saying something. I have about a week until I need to send Assassin to my editor, so I'm gonna have to look at it one more time. After I send it to her, I'm not gonna have to do any more edits. That's fantastic. For like a long time. Unless I immediately finish Unicorn in like a month. I have not decided what I'm going to work on today. I'm feeling like 3 different projects seems like a good idea. I kind of want to work on Monster, but I'm at kind of an awkward part in the beginning where I'm not fully sure the most dramatic way to go about the plotline to get it where it needs to go, where I can actually like know where the plot is. That didn't make any sense. I have the beginning and I have like where the main character meets a lot of the side characters, and there needs to be like a gap of stuff happening in between, and I'm kind of iffy on that gap of stuff happening in between is my point. And so I'm kind of right there. I've written the beginning. I also want to write Unicorn, but I'm not fully sure. I have a super helpful outline that included this sentence, need a plot point here, question mark, question mark, question mark, but also kind of wanting to write the new thing. So, clearly I'm doing very well today. I will start by trying to write Unicorn because that is, the only standalone thing that I have right now because I'm an idiot. That is the most reasonable thing to publish next, and also has a plot. So Unicorn's kind of like up there for priority because then I can publish it either later this year or early next year. Also, it's very rainy. We finally had. This was supposed to be like a 3-day long big storm. Apparently, the news around here is always like the sky is falling when maybe it might rain. And then it rained really hard for 10 minutes and then rained moderately hard for a couple of hours and then sprinkled yesterday and is now like sprinkling today with a lot of wind and clouds. But we almost had a real rainstorm. It's Monday, March 17th. I think writing 82 projects at once really works for me, actually. So on Friday, I ended up writing 400 words on Unicorn. Just wasn't really feeling it. On Saturday, I wrote... I started outlining the new project, went and wrote some Unicorn, then came back and outlined the new project again. It ended up with 400 words on the new thing and 300 words on Unicorn. Yesterday, I wrote 4,000 words on Thistle. I like this plan. Because even when I get to a point where I'm stuck in one project or just, I don't know how to... Most of the time with me, it's I got to a place where we need to transition, and I don't like transitions, and I have to think of something clever, just a smart way to get through the transition, and I don't want to do that. And it usually takes me a couple days to come up with the right way to do that, and so I can work on a different project and keep in the writing zone. We'll see how it goes. This could end terribly. I'm working on 4 to 5 projects. I say 4 to 5 because like Monster I have not yet gotten to this month. But also it's a new week, and in a week from now I have to send Assassin to Natalia. I have to do another editing pass this week. I got some very nice high quality beta reader feedback. Thank you, Megan. And so I do actually have one substantial change to make, and by substantial I mean I need to sprinkle in a few sentences throughout the book. So not that much, but I do have to reread it from the beginning and make sure there's no like stray sentences that will now conflict with the new thing. So I gotta do that. I have to beef up the description on one of the monsters at the end of the book, because monster description is not my strong suit. That really is the problem with finishing a lot of books this year like I want to. I have to edit all of... This year I'm gonna draft, a ton of books. I probably won't. This year if I draft a ton of books, then all of 2026 will just be crap. I have a lot of books and now I have to edit all of them. I've written 23,800 words for the month. Yeah, that 4,000 words on Thistle was me getting through a transition section that I had no idea how to get through. You can tell because the last time I wrote Thistle, I wrote 1,000 words back on the 5th, and then barely anything in February because I was editing. Yeah, we're past that, and now we are within a chapter of... I can't remember any of, the actual plot points and, the story structures out there. I know what they are, I can't remember the names. It's kind of the point where the plot truly kicks off. Eli has no choice about staying where he is within his world. He has to go and do the thing. It's past the inciting incident, but it's also kind of the inciting incident, So, point is, I think I, for the most part, know what I'm doing with this book from here on out. There will certainly be transition areas where I'll have to get through again, and I'll go work on a different book. Ironically, that's where I'm at with Unicorn right now. I have to figure out a transition scene, but I also can't just skip to the next point because there needs to be some character development at this point. So yeah, today maybe I'll edit, but mostly I will probably write something that it's probably going to be Thistle because we have a cool scene coming up. It's Tuesday, March 18th. Yesterday, I wrote 3,500 words on Thistle. I was about to keep going on that today. I just finally... where's my Scrivener document? No, that's not the right one. I'm almost 20,000 words into the book. I'm 18,800 words into the book. The main plot is kicked off by one of the kids getting taken by monsters, and we are just now getting to that chapter, so never let it be said I don't know how to ramble. I'm not rambling, actually. Lots of stuff happens, but I was gonna do that today again, and I may later. However, one of my other beta readers finished up the Assassin novella, and I was reading her comments on it this morning, and so I was like, you know, while I'm feeling like 2% motivation for Assassin, I'm gonna edit it. I took some notes on some things that I need to change. I think that's what I'm gonna do today. Other than that, I am just waiting on my book printer for The Wind in the Wild still. It's, oh gosh, it's been like a month and a half of like no progress. Because there was a holiday first over in China, and then there was some issues with, Merrick had some delays, and there who's talking to the printer for me, and then it's taken like 2 weeks for the printer to print some new dummy copies, and they were gonna ship them out more than a week ago, and apparently they're just saying now that they'll ship them out tomorrow. I am very exhausted by this. I can't hurry them at all. I've already been like, hey, you got the tracking number yet? To the printer. So just, they're a big printer. It'll take as long as it takes, but I have no control, and I don't like waiting like this. I would just like to say that it's now like 2:30 in the afternoon, and that little spark of inspiration about editing has long fled. I love this book, I just don't want to look at it anymore. But alas, if I get halfway through it today, I'll be happy. Okay, it's the next day. It's Wednesday, March 19th. I can't remember the date. So what I ended up doing yesterday was surrendering. No. Yeah, it kind of hit me halfway through the day. You know, I'm gonna have to line edit this a couple of times via proof copies after I get this back from my editor. I don't need to do one right now. I've already done my final edits before it goes to Natalia. I just need to go through and fix the few things that need to be fixed, and I know one of my beta readers pointed out like 2 typos. I still need to actually go and find those. But, so I kind of ended up yesterday just scrolling through for the places where I knew I needed to change some things and changing the things, and that's enough. I have no ability to balance the things I'm doing. If I'm really into writing, I don't want to do anything else. Like, I don't want to work on the cover for Assassin. I don't want to work on any of the other art for Assassin. I need to. I don't want to work on the art for that. I just want to work on my projects. But I cannot just not do my other stuff. And then when I'm in the mood to like work on art stuff and everything, then I don't want to write. Like, I need balance, because if given the choice right now, I will pick a work in progress and continue to work on it all day. Like, I will not leave the headspace of working on the writing project all day, if given a choice. And that's great, but also, writing is not the only thing I'm doing. I don't have enough money to just hire other cover artists and stuff, so, you know, until further notice, I'm still doing all my own design work and all my own art until I become a gazillionaire, probably, because that's scary. So, you know, forever. It's Monday, March 24th. It's warm outside. I'm thrilled. Last week was kind of chaotic, not very organized, and I didn't get as much done as I should have for how all over the place it felt. We're going to be a little more organized this time around. I think I'm gonna go back to trying to like time block stuff in my little planner, because that was working well. Got lots of stuff on the to-do list for the week, some like Kickstarter fulfillment stuff, and I basically kind of want to write about 10,000 words in the last week, and that'll kind of get me back on track to where I want to be for like the 300,000 words over the course of the year goal. And between the 82 projects I have, that should not be a problem. But I wanted to show you guys. So what the printer did for The Wind in the Wild was, I wasn't quite sure about the case covers, like the foil on the case cover on the character art, and then the foil and the leather cover on the leather version of the cover. And so they were gonna send me some options, and that's what they said. And I thought maybe I'd get like 2 options a piece, and they just send the covers separate. They sent me a few options. Some of them just blatantly not very good. So what I ended up going with is, for the character art, this is so pretty. This makes me very happy. It is so vibrant, and the silver goes really well with both character art pieces. I hope this shows up in the camera. It is so pretty. And this is kind of what the slipcase is gonna look like. I'm doing the same character art, same paper material and silver foil again. So this is kind of what the slipcase will look like too. And then the leather, which I was the most worried about. This is the one I ended up going with. The colors look so much more vibrant. Like at a certain angle, you can just kind of only see the wind design, and then you hit the light just right and you get this like bluish green foil for the tree. And like, again, it's so pretty, very pretty, and it goes really well with the sprayed edges. So that's what we got. We got these 2. This is nice. This feels like progress, you know? So we're getting there. We're so close to the damn print run. I also have it on the to-do list for the week to start back up with social media. I wouldn't hold me to that. I wouldn't. Oh yeah, there was one other thing I was going to say. I almost turned the camera off. This is just a peak example of what writing a book is like. I was working on Unicorn, and I'm like 10,000 words in, 13,000 words in, doesn't matter. For the next plot point to happen, I need the characters to be outside in the forest. They are kind of like taking shelter in a old castle right now, and they need to be outside of the castle. But I was stuck for like a week because I'm like, well, realistically speaking, there's no reason to get these characters, all of them, outside. You know? And, you know, they're taking shelter because there's a storm, and also they're kind of lost, so like just wandering around the magical woods would not be a smart move for any of them. And it took me a whole week to realize they're in a medieval world, in a forest, hiding out in a castle. They need food. They need to go outside and hunt and forage for food. Duh. Logic? Who is she? Never met her. So that is a peak example of what writing a book is like. So yeah, I didn't do much writing last week, so now I'm feeling like super hyped to work on all my projects at once, at the same time. Oh yeah, the assassin went off to Natalia today. Well, I sent it to her over the weekend, but you know, she confirmed she got it today. So I don't have to edit anything until at least a month from now, because I think that she usually finishes up early, but like she says she's gonna have it for a month, so I'm gonna pretend that she's gonna have it the whole month, and I don't have to touch any editing for a whole month. It's how bright the sun is at a certain angle this morning. Something looks different in this setup. It's Friday, March 28th. I don't actually have much to report. I wrote 500 words on Thistle yesterday and 1,300 words on it the day before. I was struggling the last couple. Oh, and 600 words on it the day before that. That's actually not bad. The allergies have been killing me this week. Like, I'm actually a lot better today for no reason, but like just fully fuzzy-brained, tired, on top of like it giving me a headache and stuff. So I was not impressed with that. It's fine. I don't have that much to say because I got up this morning and was like, you know what sounds like a great idea? Attempting a 10K word day. So we'll see how that goes. I don't really know if I'm making a tracker in my planner, by the way. I don't really know if 10K writing days work with my brain anymore. Am I gonna give it a shot? Yeah. And at worst, I'll probably end up with a better, that's a cute sticker, a better word count than average because I'm trying for something obscenely ridiculous. I made a little tracker. I got my sprints. I only started off with 5 because I have no idea how long is this gonna take? Or until I give up. Maybe I give up in an hour. I don't know. We will make an attempt. This is probably gonna hard cut to an immediate update where I'm like, that didn't go well. It's Monday, March 31st, and therefore a perfect time to wrap up this vlog that I don't remember what I was doing with it. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't do a 10K day. I tried. This is what I ended up with, which is 4,700 words. First of all, not bad. Second of all, the allergies really were killing me. By about like an hour in, like my eyes were all itchy and kind of burning. Not computer strain, like very clearly allergies. So not the easiest way to try to do a big writing day if you're constantly going, you know. I did good for what was there. You know, it's fine. So I wrote 36,400 words this month. If I write something today, it might go up a little bit, but in general, that's where I'm at. Which is 72,900 words for the year, which is not bad. I want to have a big writing month next month. I said that this month. I swear I mean it. I started a new book. This is one you know about, at least. You know, this is, I didn't just pull this out of thin air again, like I did with the new thing that I started earlier this month. I think I have a problem. I started Wildcats on Friday when I was trying to do the 10K day, which, you know, started off with, I took 300 words worth of notes on something else. We're not gonna talk about it. And then I went, you know what would be good? Wildcats. And I sat down and wrote 1,600 words and started Wildcats. So that is good. I guess. And then the rest of the day was spent on Thistle. I don't know how many words it was. It was like 3,000-ish or something like that. I don't remember. But, you know, point is, how many books this month? I started 2 books this month. That's not good. Oh dear. I may not work on, I had definitely decided not to start that until I finished Unicorn. I don't know what to say. Oh god. So anyway, oh yeah, I wanted to show you, I did take a little clip of this, but I got these from Bookplate Inc. Shout out to them. These are, you know, book plates, which, if you don't know what those are, basically little decorative stickers that the author signs, so you can have a signed copy of a book, but for like way cheaper, you know. These are for the Kickstarter, and they just come in little boxes. So I made a little design, and they print them on this nice, like, papery type paper, you know, it's not shiny. And I went through and I signed them. I think there's 200 of them, and I did that yesterday while watching another Hollow Knight video, of course. That games my whole personality for the foreseeable future. So I did that. I knew I needed to do that, and I completely forgot that these existed, and I went, oh yeah, I should do that. And eventually these will get sent to Merrick Books along with all the other swag. I feel like I kind of had something else over the weekend. I went, oh yeah, I should mention that on the vlog, and now I've totally lost it, so it could not have been that important. Alright, we're gonna wrap this vlog up, and I have high hopes and high plans for, is that a phrase? I don't know. For April. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, giving a thumbs up and a subscribe really helps out my channel. I feel like I have more to my outro, but I can't remember it. All links are in my description, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye!